we're gonna keep going with this, just doing the same thing. We're holding the braid tight, we're adding a little each twist, we're dropping a little each twist, all the way down until we get to the base, the very bottom of the tail. Okay, we're a little bit further along. We're about maybe 2/3 of the way done. What can happen here and is starting to happen with arrows? Well, first of all, I had to step off my ladder because I can actually reach him now, flat-footed. And then once you get to about this point, is a lot of horses are a little ticklish in their tailbone. And they're gonna start kind of wiggling. They might twist their tail, which makes it a lot harder to keep it tight and a lot harder to keep it straight. So that's something that you really have to keep an eye on when you get to this point. I don't know if you can see it just yet on the video, but he's a little twisty each time I grab hair from the back now. And so I really have to be conscious of, there he goes, of holding the tail, the braid very tightly so that it doesn't unravel. You really don't want to have to start over when you get down to this point. So you need to really hang on tight. And when you add the hair, he's going to wiggle each time because it's going to tickle when you're grabbing it. So you just want to hang tight. Try to keep it straight. The other thing that can happen is when they're pulling their tail closer to their body, that also can loosen your braid. What will happen is when you add the sections, you might find that you're holding the braid away from the tailbone, and that's going to make your braid really loose. So you have to be really careful not to let that happen. Okay, we're just about finished. We're almost to the end of his tailbone. You can see where I'm having a little bit of a hard time keeping this braid tight. Part of the problem here is that I needed more water, and I accidentally put my sponge where I couldn't reach it. So that did not help things. Okay, we're down here at the base of the tail, and my video has gotten a little off center, sorry. It'll get better in a second. Once we're at the end of the tailbone, the last 1 or 2 times that I add hair, I actually don't drop any, just to keep things a little bit neater in the back. So I'm gonna add one more time. I'm not gonna drop anything, and now we're just gonna braid the tail by itself. We're not gonna add any more hair in. We're just gonna braid what we have. And I braid it maybe a 12 inches or so. I'm gonna finish this tail with a pinwheel. If you were gonna just wrap the bottom, where you could just take that end braid and wrap it around, you don't have to braid it quite as long. But I prefer to end my tails with a pinwheel, so that's what we're gonna do here today. So we're gonna braid down. Nice and tight again, because you don't want your pinwheel to be floppy. Now I'm gonna add my yarn. I have a long piece of yarn, which I showed you in the beginning of the video. And that's what we're gonna use now. We're gonna add that in the back, just like we did the little braids on the top. And we're just gonna braid like it's not there for a little bit longer. Keeping it tight. You don't have to be as concerned about perfection on this part. You're not really gonna see it. It's gonna roll up into a pinwheel. But you still want it nice and tight. Now I'm gonna tie it off. So I'm being really careful when I separate my string that I don't have hair in it, because you don't want to accidentally cut any hair. You get it broken and up in the knot. Pull that nice and tight. And then I'm gonna do 2 more little braids, or little knots, just so I have my yarn at the top of the braid, which you can't see here right now, but you will in a second. Okay. I'm just gonna check my braid. It's a little twist there, but sometimes we can straighten it out. Okay, now to start our pinwheel, we're gonna thread our pull through with the string. I sew my pinwheels the whole time I'm rolling it up because it just keeps it sturdier. I'm gonna split my hair a little bit so I have a little bit on each side, and I'm gonna roll it once, and then next time the knot is by the rest of the braid, I'm gonna put the yarn through the braid to kind of sew it in. Do the same thing again. I'm going to roll it up, and then I'm going to sew it once more. Each time that section of hair, that section where the string is, reaches the rest of the braid, that's when I sew it, so it stays nice and tight and sturdy.